Okay, I want to make a self-activating sound card for a prop. Not like the one we did on the werewolf where we paid someone to do some wiring for us and they sent us a card. Stuff you can buy off Amazon, like these relays and these sound cards. I don't remember the cost per relay, but I know these are 4 of them for like $16.99 or something. So basically a little over $4 each for these sound cards. Not the loudest in the world, but they're not bad. We're going to put one together really quick. So as we go along, I'll try to explain the wiring and everything to make everything as simple as possible. I know I did kind of a horrible job with the werewolf, and we're going to try to make this a lot easier. Okay, so I always like to use yellow wire for the trigger. All right, and the signal gets sent from a sensor to the relay. We're going to test this with a single relay, but there's also like a double one that comes with 2 on one PC board. These are single relays. All right, so let me make my cut here, and we're going to solder this onto the busy card. The busy port, which should be the second one up. On the back it's labeled ground busy. I don't know if you saw it or not. Second one up, and I'm going to put a little dot of solder on there, and I'm going to do some solder on I'm going to go ahead and pre-dot the ground. Oh my God. And I'm going to pre-dot the negative and the positive. And the first one for the sound trigger for the to activate 0001. Oh, and the speakers. I almost forgot about the speakers. Now, I want to preface everything by saying I am not that good with these little small welding things. I've gotten better as time has gone by, but I am not that good. But I'm getting better. Alright. So, here we go. I need more light. Let me see. Let me turn on my light. There we go. Now I have no idea if that screws it up for you guys or not. Tomorrow, Monday, February 20-something or other, I'm going to be getting my nice mat that's going to make me look professional. So, can't wait for that. Okay, I like to use white for my grounding for this. Well, this is my cheap wire. I ran out of black and red already. I really I've grown to like this wire now. I made fun of it, accused it of being cheap, shitty wire, which it kind of is. But I don't know. Now that I've run out of red and black, kind of feel bad. So I'm going to explain this as we go along. So it makes sense. And again, I should be in frame because I'm not highly zoomed in. I keep finding out that when I zoom in a lot, I'm out of whack. You can't see certain things, and I figure it'd be better just to be a little further away. Just do it that way. These ends might be too long. Screw it. I go heavy with the hot glue when I glue these in, and I cover all my connections. And again, guys, I have no clue, man, if that's a bad thing to do or not. All I know is I am not the best solderer in the world. This is all difficult for me, as it is for you. And we just do the best we can. Get this stupid screwdriver out of the way. Let me flatten that out a little better. Thank God that's on the end. Come on, baby. Melt. All right. So now let's explain a little bit. The sensor will trigger this relay 1 right now, this relay 2. The sensor, here it goes, here's one right here. The sensor will trigger relay 1. These two wires are going to go inside of here, and I'll explain that in a minute, which will cause the sound and the card to activate. Then this busy wire will activate relay 2, which sends a signal to the mouth, eyes, mouth will open, eyes will light up, motor to spin, and make your prop work right. Okay, that's the whole plan here. Is trigger relay 1 makes this connection, grounds this pin, this port, whatever you want to call it. It activates the card makes sound, this card sends a signal to relay 2, and then relay 2 sends a signal to the mouth to open, the eyes to light up, and the motor to spin to make the prop move. Hope that makes sense. All right. Now let's solder the speaker wires as I desperately search for what I'm looking for. There we go. No, I don't want to use that one. There we go. Brand spanking new one, hasn't been messed with. Throw that over there. All right, we already tin this. So positive is on the right. Let me turn this. Negative is on, depending on which way you're facing. Ay, 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 my goodness. All right, so now we got leads to our speaker. And I just so happen to have a speaker. Nope, I did the wrong freaking wire. My God, man. I'll tell you guys, I don't know, amateur freaking hour, bro. I hate doing this over and over on these spots because, man, I don't know if I'm damaging the card with all that extra heat. This would be smart the first time. But again, this, DIY amateur to show you. And like I always make my disclaimer, I am a freaking amateur, man. I am like you guys, trying to learn how to fix my props without having to pay someone, and then how impossible it is to actually find someone who does this kind of work. So I think we got it that time. Halfway ass decent. All right. Now we got a speaker. Okay, we're getting close. We're getting close. Now we need to hardwire power to the card. And again, let me go off to the side here and cut excess off. I'm going to go check my camera angle again and make sure I am still. If you see light flickering and humming, we figured out the humming. I just kicked the camera. Again, in the cabin, my air conditioner is what's causing humming. I have everything hooked up onto the solar right now, including the air conditioner, because I had done some temporary wiring and I had some problems and I had to fix my air conditioner this morning. And since I have the main electricity, the entire cabin hooked up to all the solar, every time the AC kicks in, we have a little flashing. So that's what that is if you see any flickering. All right. Negative first, then positive. I wanted to, you know, I needed to move that over anyway. It was very close. This is such close quarters here, guys. And see? One little screw up like that. And again, as amateurs, this is what we have to worry about. You know, this little fine details here. Keeping the solder joints not touching each other. You have such little room. It would be a lot easier to put pins in. You know, a hell of a lot easier to do pins, but or if your wire was skinny enough to go through. Mine's is thick, so I can't do that. But I mean, overall, I'm happy. We got good connections here. Trying to slide the wire sleeves down some. They're connected good. Everything's connected good. We don't have any bleed over. There's a gap between positive, the negative, this ground. All right. So let me clean up everything here, vacuum off all these little bits of wire from the cuts I made. We'll get a double whammy board and hook everything up. Okay, let's explain everything now. The sensor will need to be hooked up to a hot positive and negative. The signal wire from the sensor goes in to the port for relay 1 to trigger it. That is a high signal. This jumper needs to be on the high wires. There's a second set of jumpers for relay 2. Needs to be on low because this sends out a low signal. The PIR is hooked up to positive and negative. The signal wire sends a signal to the in1, which then sends a signal to activate the switch in here to connect these two wires, which grounds pin 1, which is IO01, or the third one down. The song, remember, do not format these cards. Just delete the song that's on there, drag your sound effects on here, name it 00001. You can put more songs in here, but you can only do one at a time. That's it. This is what this video covers. Anything else, I don't know how to do it. When it triggers, when the switch in here connects these two ports together, which connects these wires, it sends a signal to both of these ports, which tells it to play the sound. The sound is played. It sends a signal, a low signal to this wire to relay 2, to trigger relay 2, to send electricity to the mouth, eyes, motor. The jumper for relay 2 needs to be on low because this sends a low signal. This has its own power source. The sound card has its own power source. The PIR sensor needs its own power. We'll now wire all of those together, just temporarily. Because this will go in a prop. We will work on that prop soon. Do all the reds. We got 3 reds. Remember, you're also going to need power to go to your, in here, and a negative to go to your prop parts. We'll talk about that later. We're going to wire these 3 together. Just temporarily, we're just going to electrical tape it to our power source. And I'm just going to put some electrical tape on it just to hold it together and just make sure it doesn't touch. And I already downloaded the sound for the project we're going to be working on using this particular setup. Make sure I got good contact there. Then I'm going to take all the negatives, wire them together. With the negative from our power source. And again, all this stuff can be purchased on Amazon. And I will try my hardest to put links to everything because that's something I have not done yet on any of my videos. Alright, and all we have is just one of these things you've seen me install it before on the Werewolf. Alright, we're going to find our 5-volt power cable, plug it in. Pretty much as soon as I plug this in, it should activate. Let me make sure everything's within the camera again. Alright, looking good, man. Hopefully I got this formula down right with these videos and stuff being out of. And once I plug this in, it'll probably activate, and then we'll test the sensor. We'll see. I don't know. Or we could have a total epic failure. That shut off. That means the sensor is ready to be triggered again. This is still on because that's still sending a signal. All right. So again, the trigger. We have power. We know we have power because we have a light. These don't have a light. $4, I guess you don't get a light. That one still has a little bit of a residue light on, which means this is still sending a little bit of a signal. So I don't know how that would affect that. We'll see later. All right. We trigger the sensor, sends a signal. That light comes on. Turns this on, makes these 2 wires connect, this triggers a sound card to produce sound. Then it sends a low signal here, triggering this box to send electricity to the mouth, eyes, motor. We do have to put a hot power in here, like a hot wire in one of these. It must have caught me moving. That shut off. Now watch, if I move again, it reset it. So if people are still moving around, it's going to re-trigger it, and it'll last all that time until people stop moving around. I just re-triggered it again. Okay, so now signal, it has a little, gosh darn, man. Okay, so this is about $4. I don't remember what these cost. I think you get 6 of them for $12. The single ones you get like 10 for $12. I don't remember. I think these are about 6 to 8 for $12. That was about 2 of them for $8 maybe. Maybe it was less than that. I don't remember. So basically, if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, you're gonna, in wiring and solder, and if you don't own a solder now, you have to buy it. But once you buy everything you need to do this, you buy a batch of these, you can make several sets of these. You're looking at probably less than $20 for everything, and you can put these in anything you want. And again, we'll cover all that. We did it in the werewolf video. We'll continuously do more upgrades and remakes, you know, we'll just keep this channel going and going, I hope. These suck. You buy a box, half of them might not work, and you'll, like, in the beginning, I probably broke 2 or 3 of them for every prop I made because they're just delicate as hell. And then half of them might not work when you get them, and they might work. I mean, I don't know. So anyway, that's it, guys, for this video. We will use this on a prop, and I will do a complete remake of a prop.